Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we have a look at various cryptocurrency projects and we ask ourselves, is this going to be worth investing in? We're going to be looking at some metrics, going to be looking at some other things and check out whether or not this is probably going to be safe to invest in. As you can see, judging by the tabs which I have up top, this is going to be very exciting. Now, if you guys do like what I do on this channel, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you do wish to comment, I please ask that you be kind and generous and have a read of that little thing down the bottom there in the grey box. Cool. So, let's get to learning, eh? First, Qatar 2022 token. There is a bunch to go through today. We'll go through some of the sort of not so good first, and then we'll go through a little bit of the better later on. So according to coinmarketcap, this is currently has currently got $26 million in market cap. If it's under 100 million, then it's generally more risky than others, but could also return some nicer, juicy, fat gains. We also have a rank of 2,913. If that is legit, now if we have a look over all time, we can see that according to coinmarketcap, it has had a nice and decent rise. And a bunch of people are sort of talking about these things. Project is a scam, rocket ships with fire, and some other fantastic comments. So who are these guys and what are these guys doing? So Qatar 2022 token is a project that was created with the aim of bringing football and cryptocurrencies together so that users can enter the world of crypto football. Essentially, so I have read through this and we can look at a little bit more from the actual website. But from my understanding, this is how it kind of feels to me. It feels kind of like a bunch of guys got together and we're like, let's make a cryptocurrency so that we can go to the football game together. That's kind of how it comes across to me. Or that so we can help pay for our hotel and ticket fees or what have you. But hey, there might be some more to it which we can uncover together. So where is it currently listed? It says that it's currently listed on pancakeswap and Asbit. Now I looked a little bit into Asbit because I was kind of like, okay, what is Asbit? Haven't heard of them. This is probably the first time I've heard of them, and they're rank number 58 on the list of exchanges according to coinmarketcap, so not very high. Just a little bit below BitTrue, and I don't really know any of the ones below that. Yeah, nothing really rings a bell below that jazz, but we'll continue. So Asbit, according to Asbit, this is where the price has gone from. So this starts all the way from the 10th of January. And when we see the price, so it's been solid for months, and then it has had a little burst there. And then now we have gone and jumped up to another bunch of zeros. So I don't know how to sort of measure this price, but apparently according to the actual max supply, it is 200 and you can read the rest. Cool. So this is their kind of advertisement video. Now keep in mind that this video was uploaded by bscscan, and it is 1.8 and it has 1.8 million subscribers, so it's pretty big. Pretty cool animation, to be honest. I really, I mean, except for, yeah, we sort of watch them flying around. It's quite cool. So one thing which you guys should know about me, I don't know much about football. So if I say anything wrong or incorrect about football, I just probably know more about analytics and reading stat stuff. So we move on from that. So let's have a look at what this is here. So Qatar 2020, so we've already read that, so that users can enter the world of crypto football. FWC has been created for the link between. So here is my sort of curiosities behind this project. I don't know exactly how they're going to be bringing together crypto and football, because I don't see anything which sort of tells me that they are going to be actively doing stuff regarding that. In terms of the actual website itself, so they don't have any different pages. Everything is on the same page. All of the links work except for this one here where you click on more for when you find more partners. But if we actually go, so we'll have a look at what we can actually see in terms of this jazz. So we have a little sort of countdown, which is Start World Cup 2022, which is 253 days away. So yeah. And so one thing which sort of stood out to me, so it says, so this talks a little bit about the token. FWC is a BEP token designed for buying tickets to the World Cup. So here's my curiosity. I can't find any information. So keep in mind, these guys are pretty new, okay? So these guys, this token age is a month old, okay? Although according to Asbit, it might be a little bit longer, as we saw that sort of thing saying January. So one thing for me when I sort of look at this is, do these guys actually have any contracts? Because you could say as much as you want and say, hey, you can buy these tickets to the World Cup, but where is the proof? The proof is in the pudding, right? We want to be able to maybe see some agreements. We want to see some big names saying, hey, you guys should buy this FWC token. So booking hotels, which hotels do they currently have? We do not know yet. We don't actually know if they even have any at all. Using various related services, placing bets. So pretty much none of the stuff here, I don't think we actually have any tangible evidence that they are actually going to be releasing any of that jazz, but they might. So we just don't have it yet. But keep in mind, these guys are mega new, very, very, very new and fresh. While thinking about this whole video, so we are the sponsors of the World Cup games. The sponsors of the World Cup games. Dang. And as the third part of the roadmap, our goal is to buy tickets with this token. When I saw our goal is to buy tickets with this token, I was thinking, do they want to buy the tickets? But no, they're talking about like us as, you know, the consumers would be able to buy the tickets. We are motivated to support child labor. So they support child labor, folks. Invest, and we have done a lot in the field of pet protection. Okay, so good. Yes, we will move on. So what is Qatar 2022 token? Talks a little bit more about it. They talk about the token app. So what's cool about what I do quite like about these guys is that regarding the actual token information, is that they have been quite transparent about this jazz. So pretty much all of these line up according to bscscan. But this one right here, this one is a bit concerning, and we will have a look why very shortly. So token sale, they talk about token sale. Cool, you guys can have a sort of short / small read of it, pause, unpause. Great, next section, distribution of token. As you can see, a bunch of this has been used for burning, but it says use of proceeds. So NFT and metaverse game. I don't believe that this is going to happen, to be honest, the NFT and metaverse game. First of all, I can't find any evidence to show that they are actually, number one, making any NFTs and making any metaverse things. And number two, the project has been renounced, or the owner has been renounced. Sorry, not the project. We will look at a bit of that renouncement later on, but just so that you guys are aware, yes, that is one of those things. So hotels, betting sites, and buy tickets, of course. But where do we buy tickets using this token? Where do we... what betting sites are currently using this token, and what hotels also currently use this token. Now, you guys can use the argument with this about the fact that you can try to get yourself more money by investing in this token and then being able to exchange that back to maybe fiat currency or maybe another cryptocurrency. But these guys say that they want to use this token specifically for these things. So it's sort of, yeah. So, I mean, I guess you could say loosely that you could technically do that, but that's like saying that you could use American dollars in Japan, for instance. Like, you can use it, but you need to go to an exchange first and swap them out for, you know, the Japanese dollar. Yes, I think it's called yen, or is that Chinese? I can't remember. Anyway, moving on. The roadmap. So this is the roadmap here. I think, yeah. And so we can see a bunch of ticks next to ones which have been done. So upgrading website, good. I hope they do upgrade this website. So this website is a bit average-ish, but it's pretty nice in terms of its kind of layout. It's pretty nifty, So NFT World Cup release. I am curious about that. So it says that that's going to happen in Q2. If they actually do this, car pie to them. Good job. Q2, contracts with reputable betting sites throughout the country, especially Russia. It's interesting how they say, especially Russia. But yes, I think that that's pretty okay, to be honest. But where is this metaverse thing, which we've heard so much about? We see NFT World Cup release, but we don't see the metaverse thing. And where are the hotels? Where do we buy the tickets from? We see betting sites. We've got that. But where's the tickets? Where's the hotels? We have lottery. But yes, anyway, moving on. So powered by a team. The Qatar 2022 crypto team combines a passion for esports, industry expertise, and proven record in finance development, marketing, and licensing. So here are some of the guys. So CEO and lead blockchain. So he actually has a LinkedIn, which is awesome. And then a few other fellows on here. Now I did click on the LinkedIn. And as you can see, the profile's pretty good. Don't know why he has a woman in the profile. And he has a guy in the profile there, although his complexion does look darker than this fellow here. So I don't know if he's actually that dude. But yes, we will move on. So this is the exchanges. This is one thing which feels a bit deceptive as well. So in terms of the exchanges, yes, they are listed on pancakeswap. However, this is misleading in my point of view. So they say that they're also on CoinPaprika and Asbit. Now, CoinPaprika, when I was looking through the top exchanges, CoinPaprika does not come up from what I saw in the top exchanges. I don't know if it just shows like the top 100 or if it just shows like all of them. So okay, so it looks like it shows all of them there. I couldn't find Paprika. Nope, doesn't come up. So not sure exactly who these guys are or if they are that trustworthy. Never use them. You guys are welcome to comment if you know you trust these dudes or not. But up 2,000 and 2,500%. But it does actually show all of the way from down here, which is similar to what we saw from the Asbit website. So there's that. But yeah, so Gecko Terminal, Dex Tools, and I think Coinsbit was the other one. I believe that this one had the same. Okay, sorry, no, the Coinsbit just literally leads straight to their website. It doesn't even lead to the actual fact that you can buy the token or not. So don't know if it's actually on there or what it would be on there. But Dex Tools and Gecko Terminal, both of those are essentially kind of like Unicrypt or kucoin a little bit. So Dex Tools, I believe that you can actually buy pairs on Dex Tools. You can connect your wallet, you can buy and sell with that sort of jazz. So you can get WBNB for FWC. However, this is done through pancakeswap. All right, or according to this chart, it says FWC/USD to Pancake, or the pan swap thing. So yeah, I don't think that they should consider this a proper listing, because if it was a proper place for listings, then it should be something like on the actual CoinMarketCap markets, right? So I think that's pretty misleading to actually say that that these are the token exchanges. So you can still buy and sell, I believe, on both of these things, but to say that it's like available on those as token exchanges, that's misleading. Next thing, so they do actually have an audit. From what I have seen of the audit, it was pretty good. It pretty much passed with like flying colors. Everything passed and there was like no issues. Although this is kind of interesting, owner can mint amount of tokens, ownership renounced. Yes, so the ownership has been renounced though. But it says in the period when the owner is not renounced, which once again we will be continuing to look at that jazz. And it says as seen in. Now this feels like they probably just took a bunch of pictures and just copied and pasted it. If you guys actually know whether or not these are legit, you are very welcome to comment. But it doesn't really lead us anywhere. It's just a bunch of pictures put together. I think that please don't hate me for this, but I think that these are football logos. But yes, do not know, not a football watcher. Other things, so crypto news, they say partner with TechRate. This is also misleading as well. They aren't a partner with TechRate. They just had an audit done with TechRate, which TechRate was the guys who did this audit right here. So you can't say that you are partnering with them you can say that maybe like they did something for you, but saying that you're partnering with them is, I think, to be honest, a bit misleading. But you might be able to get away with it. I might change my mind in future regarding that. So what is the token? Disrupting the way businesses raise capital. Cool, fabulous. What cryptocurrencies can I use to purchase? Will accompany you until the end of the World Cup. There is a bit of further detail as to what will happen once it actually does hit the end of the World Cup. Apparently they're going to be then changing the name and also changing the year to 2026. So that's a little bit of interesting news for you guys. How can I participate in the Qatar 2022 token sale? You can buy and hold. Yes, you can. How do I benefit from the token? Our goal is big global trade. I just wish that they'd tell us a bit more about how they're actually going to get there. Burn, 50%, marketing, 15%, and then roadmap. It's kind of interesting how it's like 20, 10, 5. But yeah, they also have a little contact thing, which you can also join as well. And you can join their Telegram, which, if you guys have seen my other videos, you will know what is on my mind about that. So Telegram, they currently have 3,900 members. Fabulous. Moving on. Their Medium. This is their Medium. I haven't written anything yet. Would have hoped to have seen something there, because we may have had a bit more proof that these guys are more trustworthy. The Reddit page, or Reddit account, I should say. This is what comes up. Once again, not exactly the kind of bee's knees. Also, when you click onto their GitHub down the bottom of their website, it doesn't actually show a proper open source repository, but it just takes you to the account named Qatar 2022 token. And yeah, it doesn't really do much for us. I'm not sure why they added the GitHub, to be honest. So here's the holders. Now, remember when I mentioned when we were having a look at some of the distribution? Well, I think it wasn't distribution, was it? It was something like that. So as you can see, that is a huge amount. And so they said that this was going to be used for exchanges and listings, I believe they specifically said for. So here's something else quite interesting. So if you actually have a look at what is currently available, and this is quite fascinating. So their liquidity is down here. So that is their liquidity on pancakeswap. I don't think I've ever seen liquidity in such a low level compared to the rest of this. So that's very interesting. Maybe people just aren't really selling. I'm not entirely sure. But first, main top wallet is dead, so that is a good time. So nobody can really go and grab those tokens, which is delish. Unless there's something hidden, of course, but I don't think there would be. But here is something which is a bit concerning. These are not locked. Like, it would be nice if maybe we could maybe see these kind of locked or something like that. But I mean, yeah, there is potentially benefit, but whoever owns this wallet, even though it says they hold 22%, they could essentially go and sell all this in one foul swoop, and they could be getting a fat amount of cash. Yes, so just be aware with that, Jazz, is that if these guys sell, like, it's, I don't know, it's almost kind of like game over, right? But you know, the token may live on because people like football and people invest in things. Okay, so let's have a look at some of this jazz. So remember, this report was done on the 10th, which was about a day or two ago, depending on when you actually watch this video. Contract owner, it says all of these zeros, so it's absolutely fine. So owner has been renounced, that is absolutely fine. It says that it cannot find liquidity pool info, but I do know that we do have the info, and this also confirms the 22.50% regarding that one holder. When we have a look on tokensniffer, now there isn't really, so it's pretty cool. So when I have a look at a bunch of these stats from bscscan, tokensniffer, and Moonarch, it's pretty clean, to be honest. It's pretty darn clean. So that's really good to know. So there is one wallet, which once again, the 22%, and the adequate liquidity present. We'll just briefly have a look at that jazz. So according to kucoin, we have got $128,000 worth of liquidity, which is currently 346 BNB. And that's pretty cool. So I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest, in terms of how much liquidity is actually available. So that's pretty attractive. And then so it says at least 95% of liquidity burn / locked. It says 79%. Now I believe that Moonarch, okay, so that also says 79% as well. And that's through Locker. So generally you want a little bit more, sort of maybe like 95% is burn / locked. but that's okay with this one. I think that we can give these guys a bit of a break with that. Here are some other delicious coins, or sorry, tokens, which have had similar contracts. So if you guys recognize any of these names, feel free to comment and be like, hey, I know that one, that was a bad time. So these guys did Sidus, Safe, Doge. They've done a whole bunch of prior scams. So yeah, so we don't know the difference. If anybody is a developer, you can definitely have a look at some of these things. But also I believe that probably one of the differences is that these have likely not had their ownership renounced. Which I take that back, the ownership has been renounced. Well, how spicy. Moving on. This next bscscan thing, so this actually shows us the balance which is available in liquidity. As you can see, it's got 479 trillion FWC, fabulous. Moving on. Moonarch. Now this does say, I have never seen this for a project before, and this is actually a really good thing. Depending, of course, depending. Sometimes it cannot be a very good thing. It may sort of deter people from actually investing in it. But I think that this is good in the sense that we don't have a central, or nobody has essentially a central control over the actual project. And I think that is very good. So it says owner has been renounced. It's a bit of a shame how it doesn't actually show the liquidity on here though. Not sure why that is. But I can't message Moonarch because of the Telegram thing. Yeah, so of the liquidity, so it's interesting. So it does say liquidity here. Oh, sorry, no. So the liquidity is actually right there, 0.24%. It currently says. And so of that liquidity, so 20% is unlocked and 79% is locked, and that 79% is locked for 2,883 days. And according to Google, that is 7.8 years, so almost 8 years. Yeah, so that's quite some time. It's kind of interesting why they locked it up for that long. Not entirely sure why they have done that. It's a bit curious. But here is one of my sort of summations regarding some of these stats which we have seen. Nothing really shows us that these guys are going to rug pull, other than potentially this one wallet up the top here, which has the ability to go and, I guess, shut us down. But there's nothing, you know, like there's like, it doesn't look like there's any hidden mint functions other than what we read from the audit. But because this has been renounced, then that seems pretty safe, to be honest. So there's no like hidden mint function, no sort of changing transaction fees. So it's all pretty good, to be honest. It looks very solid when I actually have a look at that jazz. And I mean, this sort of mint supply shouldn't really worry us, because once again, I mean, they say the whole mint thing here, but ownership is being renounced. So Carpi, clean, safe, under control. Unfortunately, our Twitter thing is not showing us stats, but we do know that the user was created on January 30th of 2022, and they currently have about 5,000 followers. Now, another cool thing which I like about these guys, they have not paid for any bot comment. Now, what I mean by that is that when we actually go through the comments of their various tweets, we don't see like a whole bunch of like people atting things and, you know, like posting the same message over and over. So that is a very attractive thing, is the fact that we don't actually see that sort of jazz. So these guys definitely come across as authentic in that regard. So I think that is really, really cool. So this is what some of the Google Trends talk about this as. Not much going on there. So keep in mind that they say Qatar 2022 token on some places, and then others it will be like the kind of split name, like it says on here. So I'm not exactly too sure which one to believe, but when I actually put them together and I go onto Google Trends, nothing comes up. So I've had to do it this way, where we actually have split words between all of them. A few bits of searches here and there. And then for the last 30 days, do we see anything interesting? We've had a bit of something recently. So yeah, this is their white paper. Now you guys can't see this. Oh, you can see it here. So this is their white paper name. Copy of coffee. I want another cup of coffee and another proper coffee cup. Yes, so copy of music party event flyer. Qatar 2022 token. Now, this is one of the messiest white papers I've ever seen. It is just There's this colors everywhere. I mean, you've got like the words melting into the background. Most of it, I mean, to call it a white paper is a little bit, so white paper, as you can see up the top here. To call it a white paper, I think is a little bit kind of shameful-ish, because most of it's just it talking about like the various teams which have kind of won games. So we're up to page 17, and now we can see a little bit about the token. Metaverse. Yes, so written incredibly well. And this is one of the things which they were talking about. So at the end of the World Cup, we changed the name of this token to 2026 token country. So yeah, and connect it with new football technology. Now, part of me which is curious is what sort of new football technology will they actually be connecting this with? Not entirely sure. FWC, Qatar, 2022 token, safe protocol v2, and then voila, could be great. Pretty much all of these things are authentic, so that is fantastic. But once again, this one here, potentially concerning. Remaining charts, so it talks about marketing, exchanges, pancakeswap, cool. It's interesting how how they say pancakeswap was 40%. Pancakeswap is 40%. Look at that. Look at that delicious 40%. That feels a bit misleading, but these guys probably didn't predict that. So yes, I expect that maybe they're going to have it or want it to be a little bit higher. Lottery between holders. So that's where they would have actually mentioned on that roadmap about the lottery. So other things here. Yeah, so in terms of this, it looks a bit... So hotel reservation process. Hey, but we don't know who with. We don't know if that's actually going to happen. Once again, do not know. Because I'm just going to let you guys know, if I was the owner of this project, first of all, the fact that they have renounced it is a good and a bad thing. The reason why it's good is because it means that they can't do anything sussy behind the scenes, right? The reason why it's bad is because what reason does it currently give them to keep on like improving things? But if, let's say, this is their main wallet, which they want to keep using to be able to improve things, then it may not be such a bad thing. But yes, just be aware of that jazz. So they also talk a little bit about the team activity and sponsors and all that jazz. So come to the final section, and this is CSI's WIP, or aka work in progress, likely inaccurate project checklist. We have a new measurement, which is pretty cool, because we have a new equation, which is nifty and funky. So functional and clean website media. I'm gonna give it like a 5 from what I recall and remember seeing. So it kind of functions, but there's also like some things which are a little bit funky about it, especially they support child labor. Yes, any threatening big boy holders. Yes and no. So I'm gonna give this like a 6, because depending on if let's say they do actually end up selling this, then it could be a huge deal. But it also looks like this does have a use case from what we have seen from their white paper and all that jazz. Control V paid bot comments, didn't see any, so they get a 1, because it was pretty much, oh sorry, a 10. Yeah, they would get a 10 because it was the best, not a 1. Jeez. Is the token / coin distribution fair? It seems pretty fair, other than that one big boy. Yeah, so I would say, yeah, it seems pretty decent. So let's give this maybe like an 8. Solid roadmap. The roadmap wasn't very clear, and it didn't really give me much trust in it. So I'll give it maybe like a 3. Trusted CEX / dexes. Really didn't see much of that jazz. I mean, it is only on pancakeswap. And from the rating, which I did yesterday, I gave that one like a 3, so this one probably gets about a 3 as well. Is the team doxed? Not really, so we'll give that kind of like a 1. They did show like their team, but we don't really know anything about them. They didn't have any real pictures and all that sort of jazz. So team interviews and or AMAs. So I couldn't find any sort of AMAs or anything on these guys, so they get like a 1 for that. Any relevant team experience? We do not know, so they get a 1 for that. And any notable partnerships? Not really. I mean, yeah. So don't worry about the star mechanism, because the stars are probably going to be... Oh, actually, no, they will be relevant for this one, I believe. So they get 2.5 stars. Hey, they get a 39 out of 100. Yes, that has been my video. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, if you did like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Once again, if you do want to comment, have a read of that bad boy. I got a Patreon. If you want to help financially support your boy, that'd be delicious and fabulous. Don't be misled by these prices. It's 5, 10, 20. And if you do want a request, please consider joining my advocate tier, where you can get exclusive fan requests and you can vote for projects which you want videos on, because I'm wanting to create a cool community around that. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have a lovely and wonderful day. And be safe, and don't do anything I wouldn't do, okay?